Hello, Starshine. This is Smidar from Song of Stones, and I am a crystal whisperer, which means that I talk to stones and they talk to me. And today I am here with a couple of very special amethyst crystals. They're Brandberg amethysts. They come from a special place in the world in South Africa. And they are quite unique and different from any other amethysts that I've encountered. They definitely have a water connection, and oftentimes I will see water bubbles in them. And they also have this very shiny, sparkling presence that feels very much like clear, beautiful, sparkling water. And so there's something else that I've noticed about the Brandberg amethysts, and it's not something that is new to me, but I am just starting to put together that these crystals have this very special connection to mermaids. And I've seen mermaids in the Brandbergs often, and I've seen mermaids in other types of stones, in an opal. I've seen it in a lithium quartz crystal. And the opal does have the water connection, the lithium not so much. So it's not that the mermaids will only show themselves up in these Brandberg amethysts. It's just that I've noticed them often in these crystals, probably because of their water connection, but I'm sure there's a little bit more to it than that. So I have taken to calling these the Mermaid Crystal. And this is my thing. It's not something that that is a consensus in the metaphysical world, as far as I'm aware. I just wanted to let you know that, so you know that I'm not speaking authoritatively, if you want to call it that. I'm speaking from my personal experience on this. So mermaids, they have this beautiful, beautiful fairy tale presence to them. And I think so many of us have a fascination with mermaids, and there's so much that I've been hearing from these crystals, and I'm going to be writing about it in this week's blog post, and I'm going to be talking about it in our Sunday Sparkle newsletter. But I did just want to give you a little bit of what I've been hearing from these crystals. And I'll start with something that's really fresh that came to me just this morning when I woke up from quite the nightmare. And it was a really disturbing dream that I had. And later I realized, because I've been working with one of these mermaid crystals on a personal level. I've been journeying with a specific one through a star song. And if you don't know what a star song is, it's my version of a crystal elixir. And if you don't know what a crystal elixir is, it's basically like a flower essence or a Bach flower remedy, where you're energetically infusing the essence with a crystal elixir, it's crystals into water. And some people will put the crystals directly into water. I don't do that. And if you do put crystals directly into water, you want to be very careful about making sure that you do your research before doing that, because some crystals will have heavy metals in them, and some crystals will melt in the water. And truthfully, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it makes a difference to the result of the crystal elixir. So it's just easier and safer to keep the crystals beside your water rather than directly into them. So having said that, I've been journeying this week with a crystal, one of these Brandenburg Mermaid crystals, through a star song. And this morning, after waking up from this disturbing nightmare, I realized a couple of things. One is that as disturbing and frightening as it was, I wasn't as affected by it as I normally am. It didn't shake me up like it usually does when I have a nightmare. It was a diffused reaction in a sense. So I definitely was affected by it, but not as much as usual. And I have this connection with the Brandenburg to thank for it. And I didn't realize right away until I had some time to wake up and to get more into my heart, when I realized that, mermaids, as whimsical as we make them, as colorful and sweet and lovely and cartoonish characters that we put on them. And when we see movies about them and shows about them, they're always in beautiful light. There's a lot of light and color and rainbows around them. If you want to really connect with the essence of a mermaid, a mermaid's true essence, you'll know that when we go into the water, when we get into the water, when we go deep into the water where the mermaids are found, it's very dark there. It's very dark and vast and expansive. And there's really not a lot of places to hide in the water. It's very open. And this is one of the magical things about the mermaids. And I'm going right into the dark. There's so much light. There's their attractiveness. There's their grace and beauty. And I don't want to discount that. But I'm just sharing with you what's fresh. And we don't want to separate that darkness out. And we don't want it to be, the darkness is not negativity. It's not, it doesn't necessarily need to be scary. It's not bad. The darkness is not bad. It's just a place where we can really connect to the things that scare us. And when we bring those things up into the light, they lose their power. And that's one of the things that these crystals can help us to see and to do. They're beautiful guides into bringing out those things that scare us and show us that there might not be as scary as we thought they were, and they might hold some really powerful medicine. And isn't it beautiful that these amethyst crystals, in their form, in their invitation to opening up the portals to the mermaids, also show us that in those beautiful, bright, sparkling places, there's also some wisps of depth, of deep color, of deep tone. And sometimes we have to dive in there to get the treasure. And the mermaids are beautiful at finding the treasure and collecting those shiny baubles. And those shiny baubles to me is they've taken the stuff that's been covered in the muck, in the deep gunk, in the layers of slime, and maybe even the crust of shells or barnacles. And they've polished that up and brought out the treasure. And then they put those baubles, those treasures, in their beautiful collections. And when you see it that way, it's this beautiful metamorphosis. And it's this beautiful medicine of transformation. And suddenly, and I'm looking at this crystal on the right and how it's gotten lighter as we were talking about this, as if to highlight that alchemy that the mermaids do, as if to show us how that smokiness, that wispy darkness can dissipate and become this beautiful light. I hope you're seeing this, because I'm noticing it, and I hope that you're seeing that that darkness. I'm going to definitely rewatch this video and see if it's my imagination or if this crystal really did get lighter as we were talking about transforming the darkness. Anyways, I just wanted to leave you with that little bit to get you started into exploring the mermaids and the Brandbergs. And I invite you to come over to our website, to songofstones.com, and take a look at this week's light log, which I haven't done yet. It's going to be up later.